Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Sharky Waters, Wednesday Night Dive. I am Spartacus. I'm Dom, but Kirk Douglas just died. If you are like into internet threads and what just recently came out a couple hours ago. So I figured I'd give a little shout out to him. Yeah, rest in peace. That was like a pretty profound production as far as like bringing art to the people, which is what we're trying to do here, playing the art of pool. Tonight we have, for one, the birthday of Sharky Waters. We are exactly 1 year old today, so happy birthday to everybody. Everyone in the chat rooms who joins us and shares and contributes and all of that stuff. We do have our charity. Hit that donate button. That's who we have chosen for our charity of the year for the birthday. Is the donate button still up?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, no. And then we've got one of my oldest friends. I've got a 30-year relationship with pool and probably a 25-year relationship with Brian Scott here from San Diego flying in.
Close.
We're gonna do the normal thing that we do. We're gonna do a little bit of drill in the open swim when Eric drops the timer with the sand. We're gonna do some warming up. Brian and I had a game that we invented way back in the day, so we're gonna introduce that to you guys and actually see if, we tried to play a little bit last night and we were like, well, what do we do in this situation? What do we do in that one? But we'll try and roll the game on that one and see how it goes. And then we're gonna do a race to 7 and 9 ball, see what he's got under the hood. I'm gonna see how well I play, and then we're gonna give you a chance at the break pot. But before that, we'll do the housekeeping. You guys know we got to take a shout out to our sponsors, Tipsy Tomato, where we all hang out for our pizza social after the show. Harold Prine from Prine Custom Cues gave me this Optimus Prine carbon fiber shaft. If you guys want to play with the highest equipment that's out there, you guys can check out his website. Different links, different diameters, different taperings, all of that stuff. And then Clean Slate Billiards, Clean Slate Pool Tables on Facebook. You can check that out. All your pool table needs, services, moves, relocations, repairs, refelts, check that out. My phone number is on the back wall there. You'll see it over there, so if you need any help with any of your work, give me a shout. All right, Eric, you want to do your thing?
What's this game?
It's called Dirty Ball.
Sounds dirty.
It is, it's...
Well, it was, it's 30 balls.
Let's...
30 balls, so we,
First
dirty
things
ball.
first, everyone. Let's do some drill shooting here. We'll keep it nice and simple, and we'll get to the excitement of Dirty Ball. But I'm just gonna do a stop shot drill. We're just gonna go shoot it into the corner pocket. You know, we could do it this way, but then that really limits how far away from the object ball placing the cue ball is gonna be. Doing it this way, that's gonna give us a little bit more option where we can try and stop shot from here, stop shot from here, stop shot from here, stop shot from way back here. Obviously, it's kind of like a Bell's
I really
curve.
don't know what you're talking
It's fine. We're gonna walk through it. There's a bell's curve of difficulty. Somewhere in the middle, it's gonna be like easy for you to create a shot where this one ball goes into the pocket
And then you
the
just
cue
stop
ball
right on
stops
it.
right on it,
Gotcha.
right? And it'll get harder in that little sweet spot as you move the cue ball forward to try and do that shot. It will get more difficult, and as you move it backwards, it will get more difficult. I think the goal of like the first 5 minutes here is to try and figure out like how far away is your sweet spot. Does that make sense?
That's a lot of goals.
Well,
First dates too.
pool's got a lot to it, man. Like making the ball, for one. I did get the stop, though.
Right.
I'm not quite lined up straight. You gotta make sure you're lined up real straight. Just wait for your turn to do it.
Yeah, no, I'm already like I was gonna talk.
Well, maybe
some shit,
I'm too far. Maybe I'm too far away. Maybe if I go a little closer to it, then I'm like getting closer into my sweet spot, right? See?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, what, right about here? I'm trying to go back a little further. I put a little bit of draw on it. That means backspin. You know.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. But Brian acts like he doesn't know much about this game, but obviously we've played hours and hours and countless of hours together. What's
I
your
don't
old-
know anything about drills. I don't do drills.
We never did any of we never did any of I did do some drills at one point. I had like bought a couple books and then I went over to our good friend Chris's house. I call him Hank. He's the one who's done the painting in the corner. Shout out to Hank at Morphous Art.
Mr. Morphous.
Yeah, he had a pool table that we all went to his house and played on. And that's where we like misspent our youth, really. Okay, so now I'm gonna try it from real far away. Try and
where
get
most
like
of
over
us
here. And so now I'm gonna keep a little bit of backspin on it because by the time it gets to that ball, it will actually be like not having any spin at all, like a neutral amount of energy, which is what creates that stop shot. Just close. All right, you try.
Ah, bless.
What's your oldest pool memory from back then?
From back then, I was telling you last
Well,
night.
your oldest pool memory period.
But how you guys convinced me when the ball was on the lip. You're like, oh, convinced me to do top spin. When
Yeah.
I was like, no, that can't be right, and I still listened to you guys and then lost the game.
Yeah, but I think that speaks to like Chris and I's salesmanship more than it speaks to your naivety.
Yeah, no, that's indeed true. You guys are
Dude, you lasered it first try. Now you gotta try and scoot it back a little bit.
okay. Like here.
Yeah, well, sure. Anybody who tuned in because I asked on my birthday request, thanks. Today's my birthday. I'm 13,880 days old. That spins around the ball. If you're thinking about a cue ball moving,
Yeah.
it's a lot of spins. An earth ball? I bet you there is a product out there. There should be.
Then when you're lining up your shot, it's like just hit right here on South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Right in Johannesburg.
Yeah. Yeah.
America, but
And then you're like, that was clearly Rio de Janeiro.
Now, I don't know.
Try the long one again. You'll get it. Just keep trying it a couple times till you get it.
Alright.
I remember now this table that we used to go play at. You of course you remember him, Mr. Embody.
Yeah.
He was like a cranky old man, and they had a rule like no break shots after 9 o'clock or something like that. And we see you followed way too far. Too much top spin. You got to put more backspin on that to neutralize that forward spin.
Alright.
But Tom was like a hard ass, man. And at one point on his
I don't
books
think
and
I
these.
ever met Chris's dad.
Yeah, well, he sold.
Ah, no.
tools in a Mack truck. You
Yeah.
know, those people who do
He was
that
always
work.
traveling.
Always on the road, and he would come in, and when he wasn't on the road, he'd park that big ass truck in the driveway, and he'd go straight to his office and start counting numbers and counting cash. Full disclosure, we used to sneak into that pile of cash every once in a while, buy ourselves skateboard things
Come
and
on,
stuff,
like-
but. So
Man, we would see that place, like, even when Chris wasn't there and get, like, Rice Krispie treats and Sunny Delights. Cause
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was terrible.
Well, I always, I sell pool tables if anybody's looking for one to buy one or anything like that. Side note, it's shameless shout out to myself. But I always tell the people, there's like so many people buying pool tables. Let's start throwing 30 balls out here.
Or you dirty ball?
Yeah. So these people, there's a ton of people who buy tables that are trying to put some type of resistance up against this like video game culture. They're like, the kids, they just play video games, that's all they do. They're always on the TV, and we're hoping, that they can have friends over and that they'll play pool together and all that. And
This is just 30 anyways, right?
yeah,
It's just
I think if
T-Rex.
you just pull them all out,
Okay.
then they'll be out there. And so I'm always trying to connect with them and build rapport with the selling of the tables. And I always mention to them the memory of Tom and Pam Embody, Chris's parents. They had like a little thing on the wall. I don't know if you remember this, but it was like things we wanted and things that they wanted.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It was like the chores list, like they wanted the front room sweeped out or the leaves picked up or whatever. And if we did those things, then we could like write Twinkies up there and sodas. And I remember we like pushed the limits on like what we could get too,
Right.
And then they wound up like pushing the limits on what we would do to help out. So that seems fair. You remember what you're doing?
Not exactly.
I don't think it really matters. Just put them all in.
Well, the 8 ball's in the middle. That's all that really matters.
That's what really matters. So.
Well, so
You get out of
when
here.
we were
I'll
go-
do this.
When we were going,
Host this damn thing.
When we were
anyway.
going over it last night, I forgot so I made up a bunch of rules without you because I continued to play it.
After I went to bed.
No, I mean, like when I went back to San Diego and started playing with other people.
Oh, you started. Okay.
So,
So,
like-
this is your game then.
Well, nah, we created together, but like that whole rule that the pocket gets full and you can't like move balls out of the pocket.
I didn't remember that until
No,
later.
that was something that because it just made it like at a certain point when you have so many balls, it's like that pocket's dead.
Yeah, it's just
But,
you can't make them in there
I've
anymore.
seen it. I've done it to where balls are like you hit it and it just resting right on top. It's like yep, nope, that pocket is done.
All right, and so I'm gonna let you start. I started the game yesterday, and
right.
you can start today. And then I'm gonna share with everybody. Brian, you came from San Diego. Thanks for coming. You're usually at Fiddler's Green. If anybody's ever been there,
Right.
it's a pretty cool place. That's actually where I was.
You got my job. You got me my job there.
Boy, that's arguable, man. You're a fascinating burning candle
you
of your
started
own.
me there.
Yeah, we started in the dishwashing pit together.
That's true.
We were literally on the rat's floor. This guy, shout out to Steve Rock. He owns this restaurant called Fiddler's Green in San Diego. If any of the fans are in the area, definitely go check it out. It's right on the water. There's a lot of nautical history stuff on the walls. And Steve Rock started there when he was young as a dishwasher. And so through this like philosophy policy, makes every employee start there as a dishwasher, even like little tiny cute females who are hostess.
No, they started as hostesses.
Hostess.
usually.
Well,
the guys
but-
have to
but-
start as dishwashers.
He made a couple of them do it when I was there.
Yeah, but that didn't last very long.
Yeah, well, maybe the density of Steve Rock has hardened through the years, softened through the years.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's where you can find this guy on a daily when we're usually out here shooting pool in the Pacific Northwest.
So as you'll notice, there are 2 cue balls on the table, so you can choose whichever one you want.
And you are what are you? Your
Oh, I
stripes?
did stripies. Yeah.
Okay, so and it's similar to 8-ball. You got to make your stripes. You got to make your solids. You said I'm solids.
That's right.
Okay, so I obviously have a 5-ball option here, and I've got a 2-ball option here. I've got a lot of cluster stuff in his stripes blocking my pocket here. I call this my pocket because at the end all my balls will be in there. Speaking future tense, this is like a really clustered game, and it seems like a weird thing to play, but once you start shooting a couple shots into it, you can realize that there's like some pretty playful strategy in this game that you wouldn't suspect. I'm gonna switch cue balls.
I'm already thinking like, what are the defense options here? So there's 2 cue balls on the table.
You can neutralize 1 cue ball. You can put 2 cue balls next to each other, and then that makes it like there's really only one perspective of option that you're shooting from.
So still the the regular shot rules of like how you can scratch apply.
Oh
right?
yeah,
so you like have to hit the right ball first.
By hitting the other cue, scratch, hit 1 cue ball in with the other one, and that's still a scratch.
And on
technically, you could send 2 cue balls into 2 pockets.
Right.
but a scratch like per usual is going to be
game over. If that happens, that should be the rule. You just lose. But
it's ball in hand or what?
Yeah, isn't it in Farkle, the dice game, that if you roll 6 of the same dice in 1 turn, you just automatically win that game?
I haven't heard that name, Farkle.
Okay, well, I digress. Well, this show ain't about dice, so we'll get back to shooting the balls. See, he's pretty locked up in there. You can't do a whole lot with that ball right now.
That's the whole thing. When you get
It may stay there for a little while.
And you figure out how to break it a little bit.
Eric, we should play this. I feel like you and I would enjoy this game.
I was just thinking that
2 for 1.
reminds me of 15 ball.
Well, when there's so many balls on the table.
But it's like 2017 ball.
But there's 30 of them.
Yeah. I'd love to play.
Oh, I get to use the big gun.
I think what's particularly fun about this game, honestly, when you dissect like what we're doing, is
I've been waiting to use this thing, man.
taking a break.
Jamma, dude.
We've been running this show for 1 year and no one's ever tried to use that.
Oh! Love that thing.
That thing is called the Stealth.
100% accuracy right there.
Yeah, you lasered it, man. Good shot.
It's like hitting with a baseball bat.
What is this thing called, Dom?
The Stealth.
Yeah, the biggest pool cue you've ever seen, called the Stealth.
Yeah.
Most ironic name I've heard.
And it quietly sits in the corner, like no one ever, like I said, 1 year passed by and no one ever tried to use it.
It is stealthy in that like it doesn't seem like it's a real pool cue. It looks like a prop, but then it's like legit with
We should put it out here. So I don't know if people can see it
Yeah.
from the angle you used it at. Just leave it there for a little while.
It looks good right next to the picture, too.
All right, so now this ball, let's see here. So I was saying, I think what's really good about this game is, unpacking all of the jokes, and it's like taking a break away. They're like, of course, isn't like an official ruling and organization that sanctions dirty ball.
You're right.
This is like, you can like put your 9-ball, being the best 9-ball player in the world ambitions aside and play some dirty ball, and you can put your ambitions of being like the up-and-coming, league player who's climbing through the ranks in your skill level. You can put that aside and just like have some fun banging balls, which is certainly like something that you and I always enjoy, just kind of fucking around on the pool table.
Well, that's when we first made up this game. And shout out to Juliet. Who was,
I'm solids.
Yeah, you're solids. And like we were just going through the game so fast. We were just playing 8-ball, and Juliet was like, "You guys just put more balls on the table." And he's like, we looked at each other like, "Yeah, we should do that."
Yeah, like coincidentally had tons of
First
sets
time
of
we tried
balls
to do it with like 2 separate racks, and we both tried to like break at the same time.
And that was it was a terrible idea.
That if you know the way
was
this guy
dangerous.
breaks sometimes.
It was dangerous.
Ball goes flying. And I'm like.
Yeah, you were dangerous.
I hardly ever.
It was me.
You were like,
I was younger, and so I didn't have the
that ball would
controlled
fly
pat
off
and
that
break that
table.
I have now. And that ball was flying.
mine?
So Brian, yeah, it's your shot. And so Brian's face was like real down on the table, and we were like, I think we tried it once or twice, like breaking towards each other, his rack on my side and my rack on his side, and we were like, oh, that's not gonna work. We've got to change that up.
Then we decided with one big diamond.
Can you explain one more time the how this works? The rules, the winner, the 2 8-balls?
Yeah, you got to make both 8 balls.
You have to make both. So
Or the game could last forever. Yeah, because but we're not going to go that far.
We're not. You can obviously get a stalemate if you get 1 8-ball and your opponent gets an 8-ball.
Yeah.
You just got to run it back
really
or
got
what?
to the whole
Round 2?
point part, really. We were just like, we each get a point. And then,
Well, I'm not gonna
Then we
lie.
just kept getting a point, and you're like, okay.
There was a time in
gotta
my
get a
life. There was a time in my life where I didn't have the executive function to capitalize on things like follow through and finishing loose ends of projects and stuff like that. There's a lot of times in my youth where I just like opened up a can of worms and was like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess that's that. Kind of, I feel like Dirty Ball was one of those things.
Well, I also feel that Dirty Ball doesn't need to actually have such a set of rules. It's such a silly game anyways.
I mean, by virtue of the name
Yeah.
itself.
It's really just for, when you're lazy and you don't want to rack a bunch of times.
Yeah, because we get to play
That's the
and
majority
chat.
of it.
And I don't know what you're gonna do with that big cluster over
I
there,
know,
but I
I'm
hope whatever
actually,
you
I'm
do,
thinking
you
that 11, oh no.
hope you get my
I
4
think
ball
that
out.
11 ball is going to do it. Oh, hey, 8 ball. You're all right.
What days do you work in Fiddler's Green? You might
they're-
have some strange
I'm usually there on
internet people
Wednesdays.
show up and be like, "We came to see you. We saw
Right.
you on the show."
I'm there, Friday, Saturday, and Wednesdays. Night times.
I gotta do something about that. Yeah, so to the people who don't know the story, Brian and I were dishwashing together, and I got a bar back position, and at one point I had a bartending position. I should just go into the long story here. I lost that bartending position because we had a policy that you had 50-cent U-call-its, after you got off work, and I would abuse that policy.
We all abuse that policy.
We all did, but I more specifically abused that policy. And on one particular day, on a payday, no less, I got super drunk. And I left the building and snuck out to the outside of the building and climbed on the roof to go smoke some pot and wound up jumping down to the other side of the part of the building that wasn't the part that I came up, and literally landed right next to this man who was like burning the midnight oil on his architecture firm that was like connected to the building that and like scared the bejesus out of him. Told him like, hey, sorry about that or whatever, and like talked my way out of it and everything. And then, fast forward the next morning, super hungover, I'm like looking for my paycheck and I can't find it anywhere.
It's on the roof.
Spoiling my story here.
Sorry.
From my perspective of the story, I go into work to Steve Rock and I tell him, hey, Steve, I lost my check last night. Do you think you can cut me a new one? And he's like, well, yeah, but first, I gotta ask you, when you got off work, man, did you see anything weird or suspicious? Because the police came by and they said that there was someone on the roof. And I was like, no, man, I haven't heard anything like that. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, so about that check. And he was like, oh, yeah, don't sweat it, man. The police came by and like at the same time, they found it up on the roof. And I was like, oh, yeah, and so he wound up ending the policy of 50-cent U-call-its. I wound up wearing the shame to the rest of the crew at this restaurant that I ended like a good deal for everybody.
Who are pissed about that.
I believe 15 years later, there's people still pissed about that. 17 to be exact. I wound up like losing my Monday shift as a bartender, which I like climbed out of the, pits of the dish pit world to get. And then, I don't know, it was like a couple weeks later that I caught that sailboat out of town.
No, it
really wasn't that much longer because I couldn't take the heat of being the shame of that environment.
Yeah.
And I
that's what
really
pissed
burned a
everybody
bridge on something good.
That's what pissed them off the most, though. It's like, oh, he lost us some drinks and then he takes off to Hawaii.
Yeah, I don't know. I came out smelling like a rose on that one. And so you and me were talking about life and, the long history of knowing people and people having these high moments and these low moments and how you navigate that stuff and trying to check in with what it's like to kind of be older. And with the confidence stuff, I was like a lot more confident when I was younger. And nowadays I just feel like my life is like, despite all these like fantastic stories that I have, I feel like my life's pretty like, single dad, work for myself. And, but it is like it's a fantastic existence that we get to live when you get to like really dive into the details of stories with people and individuals. Like good, it's like the purpose of the show. So certainly like awesome that you would come braving on. I know you don't fancy yourself as like a, big time pool player, but
No.
it's important that I get to share like the cool people that I have, and we've certainly done a lot of pool playing.
We've
You're
done
a
a
pool
lot.
table owner, you know, after all.
Yeah. I've never really played just a couple little tournaments, little bar tournaments, but that's about it.
Call pocket. Oh, a little love, baby.
Cop pocket. This is not, this is dirty ball.
I have on the teleprompter too that I wanted to share with you guys about William Burroughs, because today is his birthday. He's passed away, but it's the anniversary. And I've always I don't know, I'm like always charmed, not that I'm like too into astrology or anything, but I do think it's cool when you learn about other people who were born on the same day as you, and you can like reflect on if there's any parallels with those people. But William Burroughs was an author who wrote the book Naked Lunch, which was like one of my favorite stories before I even knew that we shared a birthday. Such a bizarre story. I don't even want to unpack any of that. If anybody wants to look into that stuff, they can. But
Don't just, rent the movie on a whim, though.
I
into it
strongly
first.
suggest
Man,
doing that.
No, I don't.
Dude, I almost got to bring up the.
I feel like I introduced you to that movie and you loved it, and I was like, no.
I feel like I have to bring up the story about the recommendation of movie at this point.
Yeah, all right.
With so much of the stuff we laughed about and unpacked last night, but one day, this is back in our San Diego. This is before I blew it all and at the job, and I was still toting the accolades of being the cool bartender guy, and we were sailing on sailboats. Both of us were racing on some pretty fancy sailboats owned by some billionaire hobbyists and stuff, and we wound up getting set up with this Halloween party that was on the ship that is technically called the HMS Rose, but in the movie Master and Commander was called the HMS Surprise. And so it was a Halloween party on this boat that a good friend of ours, Max, big shout out to Max, was DJing music, and they had lights all set up and stuff. And at this restaurant that Brian and I were working at, we had talked these two incredibly beautiful California blonde bombshells. And mind you, we're poor kids from Texas, just fresh out of the gate, And so we talked them into coming to this party with us. We all have a good time. Brian's got his story about how that evening went. My evening turns into me having this date to go watch a movie with the girl that I met, and she's literally a runway model material girl, and we wind up breaking off, and we go to Blockbuster. This is back when Netflix and chill, you still had to go to the movie store and get your movie, and that was part of the date, was showing them you're a cool person, and do you like the candy that I like and all that stuff. Well, I hit Brian up to let him know how I'm separating off with my night, and I tell him, you got any movie suggestions or whatever? This guy's my best friend of all time. I'm and he knows, he's the only person I feel can understand the caliber of the situation I am in. Like I said, we're from Texas. We don't get moments that you get to go party on yachts that are pirate ships that were meant for movies and all that stuff. And so he's
This is
yeah.
not a good story for me, by the way.
He's you got it. He's and I don't know if I had it in my hand
You
or if I
picked it
said
up
it.
or something.
I picked it up.
You guys ever seen Jacob's Ladder? It's a messed up movie. And he's like, Jacob's Ladder, what do you think of that one? And I'm laughing. I'm yeah, man, it's a great movie. Get that one.
I somehow missed that cue, and it's a really dark movie about psychedelic warfare, literally dosing unknowing troops in Vietnam who wind up opening the gates of hell through this experimental drug and inviting these demonic
Great
visions
first date
in
movie, by the way.
that convince them to kill themselves and their friends. And so after this movie's over, I'm so what do you think? And she's just I think we'll I'll, see you around, left and go back to Brian, who had his own unraveling of that evening.
When you're I rented that movie. I couldn't stop laughing. I almost peed my pants.
It was probably the worst. It was probably the worst wingmanning that was ever played.
It's of course I rented it. You told me to rent it. It was yeah. You missed
I'm usually pretty sharp about recognizing those type of cues and subtleties of conversation.
Well, and I was
but somehow,
He's calling me.
Somehow I was distracted at that moment in time. And I feel like the way the story is delivered, that it should have been known to you that I was like punching out of my weight class and looking for help from a friend.
Whatever.
And you sailed me down the river, man.
I'm sorry.
But all's well that ends well. I have no regrets about any of that stuff, and you guys can take your 50 cent you-call-its and shove it. I did. I took the next sailboat right out of there.
Yeah, you did.
I wrecked that sailboat at Drunk
Why
on
did I go
Rum.
for that 15?
Not that particular sailboat, but you know. It was like a repeating pattern in my life for a while.
Yeah.
This game's getting close to over, man.
You think so, huh?
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you one thing that that there wasn't a lot of when we were kids and that I don't know a whole lot about is your music. Tell me about the band. What's it called?
2-Bit Liquor?
2-Bit Liquor.
Yeah, singing, then yeah, shout out to those guys. 2-Bit Liquor, hey. It's a little hobby band. It covers songs. It's just fun to, like, basically, I was singing karaoke, right? And one of my friends, like Max, who we mentioned earlier, it was his birthday. Another guy was playing in a band with him, like guitar player Chris Garreton. And he was like, you have an interesting voice. You should just come and, like, you know, jam with us a couple of nights, right? And, like, first night, they learned how to play Folsom Prison Blues and Clint Eastwood by the Gorillaz. Those were, like, my two go-tos, you know, for karaoke. And I was like, they learned it first night, and I've been singing those songs with them for now 7 years, like, and other songs, of course. But you know, like
Just
wow.
those ones.
No.
Thanks for coming.
We're
out.
taking
We'll be all right.
requests.
Crickets.
At first, it was like I would come up as just like a little mini Brian set. It's like, oh, there's 4 songs. I do like "Thrill Is Gone" by B.B. King or something, you know,
Yeah.
like with those. And now it's like, yeah, I'm up there the whole time.
Well, we got some people back here who know about entertaining masses with the mics. I didn't say, I normally say who's in the background here, but we've got Cassandra Bryan, our Shark Attack commentator, and Tom Heavey, a former guest, and Joe Fish, the counterpart to the Yang of Grandmasters. It's good to have you guys here. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
I know Ellen's done, but then what with this?
Yeah, I know. Well, I got it secured in my fortress right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What if I do this? What if I do this? What if I go? I don't even think I had a jump shot game back when we invented Dirty Ball, but what if I jumped the cue ball number red dot
Into the queue?
into the white cue ball, moving the 10 and the 8, clearing it all out?
That would be quite impressive indeed.
Jump Q combo? That's what
It's
we're
like,
talking about.
Right.
Here. This is literally the only type of shot you can do playing Dirty Ball. You don't get shots like this on other tables. And that can happen too.
Now you got bank 8 now.
That was damn close, though.
It was.
Yeah.
Jump combo.
Jump combo is pretty tough.
Jump combo, cue ball to cue ball.
Ironically, I was like more thinking about that than like the dynamics of the combo and the jump and all that. I was like real lost in Dirty Ball space there.
All I can think about with this dirty ball situation is like some of the spots that we have to play pool up here. How much of a pain in the ass it is to get one set of balls.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
full-
too.
full
Like,
rack?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was at the.
You should get going now. You're opened up now, Brian.
Hey, shut up. I've been missing balls all night. I need you telling me. Got some bink action going on though. Bink, 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 bink.
Yeah, a little back and forth. No pressure. This is where the music track stops and it gets all super quiet and you can hear the floors creak.
You heard it here, folks. Brian is on a crazy run.
Yeah.
That he continues.
Give him a taste of the Shark Attack here with some commentary in the background.
Right?
Dude, Don't forget you got another
You
cue ball.
you
You got
said
another
this
cue
game was
ball.
almost over,
You
right?
got another cue ball over here to work with. Don't forget about that. Oh, that was a crucially good dirty ball shot. I can already see the plan. Let me get out of your way. You're gonna use the other cue ball.
You're gonna use a cue ball. No, I'm alright. Yeah, I kind of messed that one up.
I was waiting for both of those to drop.
Me too.
No, but when they did, I was gonna say, and we're out of time on the open swim. Looks like there's no more sand. There's one.
This was our dirty ball.
Let's see. I'm gonna go off the 9 on this one, just to.
Ooh, oh, total. Well, okay.
Oh,
that
that's
works.
crucial. I feel like we gotta let the time run and play this out. See who gets to it. See if you can make this 3-ball run. At least bring this to neutral.
Alright.
Anybody? Any betters? Can we get any betters in the chat room? Too late.
Oh, yeah. Now it's too late. Because you done screwed it up, right? What do you guys say, other cue ball?
Tyler says you missed this one.
No. All right.
We have $1 on the line, folks.
I'll match it. $2.
Two.
On who?
No, I'm not. Like,
I wasn't paying attention, honestly. I'm just trying to up the ante.
Yeah, too late.
Stir the pot a bit. Get it going. Build it up. Tor, you owe me $2.
Huh?
Wait. No.
Bet's off, man. The bet's off. No, you owe me $2.
You can give me $2, or you can introduce me to your friend Christopher Walken.
Game, man. Took the full 30 minutes.
I'm
I've
not
been playing
busting
dirty
that
ball
one out.
longer than you.
Well, anybody who wants to bring their own invented game, you're welcome to reach out to us at Sharky Waters at SharkyWatersGmail.com. SharkyWatersPool@gmail.com.
That was solid, guys. As Dom said, we're out of time on the open swim. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Cassandra and Eric are going to go at it again to see who wins this week's crew match. Again, we're coming in hot as soon as possible with the stats of who's won the most of them. Eric's on it. I'll put that on Eric, actually. All that and more when we return on Sharky Waters, The Night Dive. And we're back. Crew match time, everybody. Eric and Cassandra, they're going to flip the coin. Cassandra, I'm assuming, is going to choose Crown, as she always does. Okay, Eric is calling VIP, and it lands VIP for me. We're live in the commentary booth with Joe Fish, my counterpart from our hip-hop group Grandmasters. Joe, how you doing, man?
I'm good. It's my first time here. I've been meaning to come for like over a year now.
Stoked to have you, dude.
Yeah. This is a rad setup. Hopefully, I'll get a game in next time.
Yeah, dude, we'll have to have you be a featured guest. Joe's like a talented musician, as well as like director and photographer, doing work all around the Puget Sound area with realtors and doing music videos. And Dom's a big fan of that art form, and we'd love to have you on to talk about it more.
Yeah, totally. I'm fascinated with your setup and all the live streams. So that's the next thing we got to tackle. Big boy on the table.
Big break from Eric. Indeed, that was.
But can he run out, ladies and gentlemen?
No, he cannot.
It's like the major shit talking portion of the show here, because it's all just our own crew competing against each other.
You know, from this angle, are we wearing the same jeans, or are those 512s?
Levi's.
Yeah, Levi's. Oh, okay. Ooh.
I'm a big fan of Kirkland brand myself. Costco. And the 3-ball drops for Cassandra. Nice shot, Cassandra. Though I gotta say, this is a random side story. I went there with my girlfriend, Jacqueline, who's like another distant team member of the show. She's a member of Costco, and I'm not. And we got turned away at the till because I wasn't a member. The lady that served us was so mean about it. Not rude.
You mean
mean?
You were there as a guest, and she was a member?
Yeah.
And you got turned around as a unit?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No way. That's new.
They wouldn't sell us anything.
That's a go home and Yelp about it.
That's pretty much where we're at. Well, I mean, we like just breathed. We were like super upset because we walked around the store for like 45 minutes getting all our groceries.
That's new. That's insane. So
Nice shot by Eric. Gets the 5 to go down.
His name is Glenford Burrito. He's a football player, man.
Yeah, so Costco legal team, lawyer up because we're coming for you.
Oh my God.
6 in the corner. Eric's. Ooh, easy now. Nice. Just a little help from the fin there, and the 6 ball goes down, but the cue ball stays on the table. Well, you know what we did is we just ended up going to another business. Bought all our food at Safeway.
Your hair all over the table.
That's how I claim my
Trying to
territory.
sharpen
I'm like,
yeah, you know, it's just me and my girlfriend, and we make our Costco trips, and we'll buy like meat
Yeah.
and toilet paper,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But buying things in bulk sometimes aren't a good thing, like batteries. It's like I have like 100 AA batteries, and we've been in our house almost a year now in 2 months. Nice.
7 in the corner by Cassandra. Nice shot.
We've used like 5 of them. It's like eventually they're going to go bad by the time I get to the bottom of the pack, right?
Yeah.
I can take some of those off your hands.
Sure.
Yeah, we use AA batteries for our wireless mics on set, so feel free to drop. I'm assuming you bought about 700 in one go with the Costco thing.
Yeah. It was enough. It was like, we're going to need these. And then we did for like one go. And
Just for your remote. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, not to mention like batteries are expensive, right? Buying them in bulk, you're like spending what, $80 on AA batteries or
Yeah.
something. Like,
It was when we
just
first moved in.
get some rechargeables, man. Nobody, like, what are you doing with that many AA's?
It was an impulse buy.
They're going to Burning Man. That's what it is. Long camping trip.
It was before summer. So, camping.
You guys are totally missing your marbles for sure.
Eric here.
Well,
just,
he's been deciding for 8 minutes, so we'll see.
I am on the 8 ball. Again, 1 minute.
Eric here, just wearing an absolutely fantastically designed shirt. I have to compliment the man on his t-shirt design. Oh, we switched the camera right. Yeah, there you go.
You need to get up
Yeah, little. I'll cue one of our beats up, and if you could do a little twerk, that'd be great for social media.
He moved his shoulders when you said twerk.
Part of the body, man.
You can see that the comments have just shaken Eric to his core as he gets ready to hit this 8-ball.
We're still here.
With the clock ticking down, he's running out of time, and can see the official walking up to the table to tell him that shot is not going to go down.
Is it really though?
You're nervous.
Let's get back to that battery talk.
So tell me,
My battery eater is right there.
between C and D batteries, what do you use more of?
I have not used a C or D battery in a long time. I think in my mag light, I have
Sure.
D batteries.
What uses C batteries? It's like what? It was a loaded question.
I'd say an RC
Some
car
clocks.
from
Yeah,
98.
some toys maybe.
No, don't go back that way.
Woof.
Dangerous shot there. She doesn't get it to go down, nor luckily does she scratch in the side pocket, but she's left Eric with the awkward angle. It's a pretty thin cut if he wants to get the 8 in the corner. And if he's trying to do something else, that's probably going to be tricky too.
Do we have chalk for those clammy hands on this next shot?
Now, when you see clammy hands, do you mean like he's been eating seafood? Or is this like a sweat situation?
Yeah, the jeans are tight and a pressure shot.
Goes for the bank and doesn't get it to go. Leaves Cassandra with a pretty straight shot all the way down the table.
Swing.
All I can hear is my phone dinging.
Ooh, she sends it with a little top spin. Still getting love on that side pocket and not scratching, bouncing it off the fin.
I didn't start myself.
Is it him?
She's getting some very spicy tweets. Might be some DMs actually, judging by the eyebrow raise that I'm seeing here on the sidelines. Eric goes for the 8 in the corner. He goes a little wide and sends it back down the table.
Oh, that's perfect.
Kicks it off the side to try to bank it back in the side pocket, and you can see she just hits the corner of the fin, and the 8-ball really deadens out and just kind of ends up right by that corner pocket for Eric to send it.
Hey,
Send it, he does. And enough send after, with a little bump on the 9. And he just gets it to glue on the rail.
Hey Eric, what's at the end of that necklace you're wearing?
A ring?
Oh,
A ring.
what is a ring of
It's the one ring.
This ring or
fortitude?
Personal, like a ring that I've had for a long time that reminds me to think of certain times.
Oh, all right. Well, let me shit on it right now.
That's actually what I'm on Shit away, actually. I'm curious what your thoughts are.
No, that's cool. I'm just glad it's not just a piece of rope around your neck. That's all.
You can see the backside of that shirt that Eric is wearing. Just, again, phenomenal graphic design there on the Grandmaster's shirt.
stole it from me. It's my
Eric makes a nice little safe.
Grandmasters808.com.
Potentially derivative of some defense that we see Cassandra play at Grandmasters808 on Instagram. And you can see that she sends that ball back there. Ooh, maybe leaves a little bit of an angle for Eric. That's a long shot down the table. New single, The 5, featuring Wands, out now.
What's the what? No, hey, no.
And we're getting some votes of confidence from the Peanut Gallery here about the shot, and I think he's going to try to take home the gold. He gets it to go. Clean shot there. That puts Eric just one victory over Cassandra's total number of victories. So that is, they were tied, but now Eric is up by one. And that signifies time for another break. We're going to let these two hash it out here, how to shoot this shot. And when we return, Brian and Dom are going to go at it in a race to 7 and 9 ball with our Shark Attack. All that and more when we return on Sharky Waters, The Night Dive. All right, everybody. We are back. Your producer Tor here in the commentary booth, live with our Shark Attack commentator Cassandra Bryant. How you doing, Cassandra?
Good. How are you, Tor?
Super good. So, what are we getting into here?
All right. The gentlemen are going to lag for the break right here. It is a 9-ball race to 7. You must hit the lowest ball first. Any ball after contact must hit a cushion. And the 3-foul rule is in effect, and that means that if you can get your opponent to foul 2 times in a row, you must let them know that they have two fouls. Give them, it's called like a courtesy call. But in order to call the 3rd foul and get the win of that rack, you must let them know that they're on 2. Otherwise, it starts all over at 2.
Gotcha. So it's 3 in a row. If you break the streak, you start over.
It's 2 in a row, and let's say you get them to do it a third time, you would just say that's 2.
I see.
Yeah. Thank you for the clarification. That can be confusing.
It is. It's. Everyone asks the question about
Yeah,
that rule.
absolutely.
So we
It's a
always got to
confusing
clarify.
rule.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, it's an important one because it can be the game maker or the game breaker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Bryant had a stellar lag there. He was like right on the rail, and he was expressing his desire that like just be right before touching the rail. But I mean, per our house rules, that's like as good a lag as you can have.
Yeah, you don't have to touch the bottom rail in order for it to be a good lag. It's just whoever gets closest to the bottom rail.
Right. Gets the 4 to drop there.
Yeah, he looks like he might have safety broke himself. No, dude.
I have yet to use the push. Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. He's kind of like created a fortress between the cue ball and the 1 ball, and the 2 for that matter.
Yeah, I'm wondering actually if he can squeeze by the 8 and hit rail first. It's really hard to tell from where I'm sitting.
Between the 8 and the 5 and the
Yep.
7. Yeah, it looks like.
Oh, you might. If that would have kept rolling, he probably would have hit it. Would have been a good hit.
Yeah, I
He
think
chose to push out.
Right.
I would make it too difficult for him though, because then I can't choose. He doesn't want to.
Well, he sends that back to Dom in a push, and like you said, maybe not what he was hoping for, and Dom gets an easy hit on sending the 1 down the rail in the corner pocket. Nice little drawback for the 2 in the side.
Opted to go 3 rails for shape on the 3 ball.
That's nice. You imagine that he wanted to be right on the rail, but for that reason. But luckily, he sends it straight down to the adjacent corner.
Looks like he has a shot on the 5 ball too.
Taking an opportunity to just survey the situation.
Looks like he's trying to see how much of that 9 ball he's going to hit.
Yeah. Gets a little motion on it, and he sends it down there. Cue ball goes a ways away. That's a pretty tight cut on the 5 in the corner, but
It's doable.
yeah. And he just barely gets the angle a little bit too shallow. That was not too similar, or not too dissimilar, I should say, from the 9 ball that Eric won the match with in the crew match. Here is kind of a little bit of like a mirror image of that shot, but way more forgiving angle. And
He almost puts it in the pocket there in the corner.
yeah, full 360 and all the way back.
Almost double kisses in the 5 ball there.
See Brian jokingly jumping around the corner. It was told to me that like as long as you don't step away from the table within a certain time limit, it's like still your shot.
Yeah.
And those little micro amounts of weight on the floor can be a difference between a ball like rolling all the way into that pocket or not.
Yeah, I've been in a bar where the bass was so...
From like the sound system,
yeah,
you mean? Yeah,
It
totally.
caused balls to drop into the pockets.
It's hard to imagine like how much bass you would need to vibrate that giant piece of slate.
Well, it was definitely like a hard rock concert type deal.
Yeah,
show.
just the sheer like decibels of it.
Yep. Dom pockets that 6 ball nicely in the corner and comes around for the 7 ball on the side. Oh, he just barely hits the fin. Oh, Brian just rattles that 7 ball.
Yeah, too bad. Nice and easy, gets that one to drop. Puts a little right on it, I think, to draw it over closer to the 8.
Yeah, his stroke just wasn't quite through the ball and it didn't get all the way there. He made a nice recovery on that 8 ball, though.
Yeah, we've seen, like, especially in the last couple matches, like those long shots just not really being an issue. And same there with the 9 as he gets that one to fall. And Dom's just been playing real comfortable on the table. You just got to think that he's, like, even from the show alone, that the sheer number of, like, different shots and opportunities that he's found himself in, he's just getting comfortable with a lot of weird things that other people need some extra time to get used to.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely in his own comfort zone here.
Makes me think back to season 1 with Mike Sells. That home court advantage is real out here at Sharky Waters.
It really is.
But fortunately for Brian, they got a good amount of table time on there as he's been in town the last couple days. And you got to imagine that the competitiveness, but also just the comfort of playing with Dom as an opponent is there from, like, years of their friendship. So there's can't be a whole lot of nerves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apart
Dom
from
sinks the 7 on the break there. Kind of a funky break, though, where all of the balls ended up on the left side or one side of the table. It's the left side where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Great drawback from the 1 to the 2.
Yeah, despite the weirdness on that break, his, like, shot that he had on the 1 and the ability to control that draw, I think is what's going to make this doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, just great shot there, like, just enough to get a better look at the 3 and
Yep. Nice. He drilled that 3 ball.
ooh, and if he just could get around the 8, he would have a
Yeah.
look down the table at the 4.
Yeah, I think he was trying to draw off of the rail and to come
Yeah.
back. And unfortunately, that draw just didn't take quite enough. Didn't last all the way to the rail.
Yeah,
Looks like he's breaking out his jump cue. Jump over this 8 ball. Nice connection.
ooh, a little movement on the 9.
Yeah, gotta break out there on that 8-9 too. Didn't leave an easy shot on the 4 ball either.
Boy, those jump shots are just tough, and you know what else is
Great
tough
combination.
is a combo like that, and he makes that look real easy and still has a look on the 4 here. Gets the 4 to go all the way down in the corner. Maybe a little tight on this 9 to get a look on the 5, but
He made a real solid shot on that 4 ball too.
yeah. Hard to say what he's going to do here. We haven't seen not too familiar with Brian's game, but haven't seen a whole lot of jumps, if any, and gotta imagine that he's trying to find an angle here.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a situation where he's had to kick either. But this is the first night I've seen him play. So
Looks like he opts for long down the table and just unfortunately collides with that 6 before the 5, so he'll give ball in hand to Dom there.
nice drawback by Dom. I think he overdid it just a little bit, but he's going to make a good recovery here.
really soft on the 6 and just not quite the right angle there. So he's going to hand that back over to Brian, who has a pretty easy shot in the corner, but it's not a freebie with that 9 right on the rail, and he pulls it back to just get enough space to hit that. That was nice. Soft shot, tries to send it down the short rail into the corner and misses it.
Yeah, he just overcut it a little bit.
But he leaves Dom with a little weirdness here. I definitely don't envy the shot. See how creative he gets here.
Goes for the reverse bank, and it goes around 3 rails. Really nice
my.
shot.
Did not expect that outcome.
It's a one pocket shot.
Yeah, I keep hearing this phrase for these crazy shots. That's a one pocket shot, and it's making me think it's time to start educating myself on a little more one pocket then, because that was wild. That was something else.
Yeah, it's definitely a good game to learn for certain weird shots like that and angles and banks, and controlling the cue ball is really what it's good for, because you have to have such control to leave your opponent bad all the time.
Well, 2-1, and Dom is doing a little assistance with the rack set up there. We, of course, use a magic rack here at Sharky Waters, and seems like Brian's more used to the triangle bar style rack. And if you aren't super familiar with setting the magic rack up, it's like legitimately just really hard to do. Like, there's no manual. There's like no room for error of where the placement of the balls go. Well, and the 8 goes down on the break, and he had an easy look at the 1, which subsequently drops. I remember one of our previous guests, Cosmo, was trying to use the magic rack like forever, and he finally got it to go, and then someone pointed out, the top and the bottom need to be on the part with the dots on the on the felt on the pool table, so you're gonna have to take that whole thing apart and move it and do it again. He was so frustrated.
The thing can be a little bit weird the first couple times you use it. That's for sure. Ooh, nice attempt at the bank combo there. Great bank by Dom.
What a look. Saved by the fin, too. He's got a look on the 3 as well.
Nice drawback. Oh. 4 ball almost goes 2 rails and into the side pocket.
Yeah, you can see right as he releases the shot, then he recognized his form was a little bit off. But fortunately with the cue ball, like right up on this 6 here, like not all is lost from that effort.
Absolutely. It makes the shot a lot harder to be jacked up over that other ball.
Makes a connection with the 4.
Almost gets a nice safety behind that 6 ball too. Fortunately, it was a little hard of a connection and the 6 ball pops out. Nice stop shot by Dom. Oh, just hits a little bit too much of that 5 ball. Sends it down to the opposite rail for Brian.
Nice cut on the 5 in the corner by Brian.
Absolutely. He gets decent shape on the 6 ball too, considering he doesn't have a lot of room for error.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he gets it to drop, and a little push on the 7 there.
Yeah, it makes it a much nicer shot. Oh.
Ooh, just dribbles it out of the side pocket.
Yeah, those shots are so rough because you make like a good connection with the side of the pocket and you think that it should fall back in and drop, and it doesn't. Well, if you're going to miss a ball, that's not a bad way to miss it. You know. Obviously, you always want to make the ball, but when it doesn't happen, getting lucky isn't bad either.
I mean, yeah, all besides the ball going down, like all the other characteristics were there. Good form,
Really
good execution.
Yep. That was a really nice reverse bank by Brian.
And when you shoot those shots with like all the other pieces in place, I feel like what you're going to be left with, worst case scenario, is like a good defensive opportunity. Oh, tries to hit that same bank again, and it looks like he maybe didn't, or maybe it was trying to cut, but something happened with his execution there, and he didn't connect the way he wanted to.
Ooh,
Dom's able to send it down the corner.
just drills that 9 ball. That brings the score 3-0. Dom, he's going to be back up to break.
Pretty nice out by Dom. He's like, don't have the numbers readily available in front of me yet because we're not running our live statistics app just yet. I think that's something that's coming in a season very soon, forthcoming season very soon. But it looks like he's got to be shooting around that 60, 70% mark right now. Like, not a whole lot of unforced errors.
Nice solid break by Dom, but nothing fell. Trademark wing ball didn't go in this time. Nice shot on the 1 ball. Little bit hard for the shot on the 2. Oh,
It's a tricky one, similar to the 6 ball from last game. It's just hard when you got to put your bridge hand up like that to get the execution you're looking for. And Dom didn't have an easy one there. His cue had to be angled right up over that 5 ball, which maybe like put some spin on there inherently, and you just got to be conscious of all of that.
he did come around for great shape on that 3 ball. Stops the 3 ball. Gets a good look at the 4. Great shot on the 4 ball.
Surveying the situation.
Yeah, he's deciding kind of how he's going to get shape on the 6 ball, what pocket it needs to go into, and if he gets the correct, and deciding also how from the 6 ball he's going to get to the 7 ball. There's like a lot of moving parts since that 6 ball has been bumped up right next to that 9 ball. Unfortunately, that draw just took and a little bit too much and came right back to the other side pocket.
Yeah, he ended up putting a lot on that one. And earlier when he was shooting on that 4-ball, he was like, his shot was obstructed by like one of the decorations that we had in the room. And so he had to step back and take a minute to move it. And I always wonder, like, on like the very, very tiny minutia of detail, like how that changes the flow
of your game and the rhythm.
Yeah, because he was just really on one there for a second. And though the 4-ball went down, it seemed to like slow the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
So makes me wonder if there's stuff like that comes into play.
It does for some players and it doesn't for others. You know, it just really depends on the person and like their kind of their mental game, you know.
Yeah. Well, he puts a lot on that one, and it almost gets to go 2-rail around to the opposite corner, but he just doesn't quite have it on target, and so sends that back to Brian.
Nice top English there on the 7-ball. Oh, fortunately he scratched on his shot trying to send it all the way down the table, the 8-ball down the table. Oh, no. Didn't leave an easy 9-ball, but I know that he was hoping to make that. I think he shot it rather quickly.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other thing is we've got kind of a full house here on the set tonight. A little bit of side conversations coming and going definitely play into that flow of your game as well.
Absolutely. I have my toddler here with me tonight, so that's kind of another thing on my mind right now.
Yeah. All considering, Logan's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Well, 9-ball in the corner for Brian, and
he gets one on the board. That brings the score 3-1.
He's able to de-thaw the ice there and get a number up. Way to go, Brian. That'll put Dom racking up the balls for him, and Brian up to break on this next game. Gets his first wiffle ball over there. He's celebrating, having a good time. You can see a little bit of weight lifted off his shoulders.
A little bit bigger of a break this time by Brian. Definitely snugged that 2-ball up to the 5. Dom just made that 2-ball worse.
Yeah.
Brian ended up with a nice little safety with the 3-ball between the 1 and the cue ball. Dom's breaking out the jump cue.
Doesn't quite get the lift off he was hoping, and scratches on the 3. Ball in hand to Brian.
Yeah, I don't see that too often. Dom almost always gets over the ball. Brian sinks the 1 ball in the side pocket, and he can see the 2 ball, but he's going to have to be pretty creative on what he does here. Nice try. Ends up with another safety.
Yeah, maybe not the creative solution he hoped for, but definitely also put Dom in a situation where he's going to have to get creative because there's like 3 balls between him and the 2. You can see Dom's opting for the kick here.
Oh, unfortunately, it looks like he hit that 6 ball first, and he's going to get Brian ball in hand.
Well, it seems like both guys are playing a little loose right now, just trying to get back on track. And Dom's able to make some noise there with that 2, but unfortunately sends it all the way down the table and scratches the cue ball again.
All right, Brian is going to take his next opportunity here with ball in hand. Nice little stop shot there. Ooh, almost makes that 4 ball in the corner pocket. That would have been a really nice shot.
Little safety action there on the 4, tucks it right behind the 7. You can just see the corner of it. Oh, but he can't quite get it to land in the side pocket, and he leaves Dom pretty straight on.
Nice shot there on the 4 ball by Dom in the side pocket. Gets a good angle here on the 5 to come back around for the 6. Oh, unfortunately, he hits it just a little bit thick. Brian overhits that 5 ball a little bit, I think. Just kind of sends it flying out of the pocket. Nice shot by Dom on the 5 ball. Good shape and recovery for the 6. Nice shot. Nice shot. Good shape. Uses a little bit of outside spin. Wanted to leave the cue ball closer to that rail to put the 8 ball in the side pocket, but he's got to break out his jump cue. He hooked himself a little bit. Ooh, great connection Unfortunately, he hit the wrong part of the 8-ball and ended up scratching. Brian takes a real easy shot down the side with it, or down the table with his ball in hand. Nice shot on the 9-ball.
Well, one more for Brian. It seems like he's clawing his way back in here. Little momentum shift.
Absolutely. That brings the score 3-2. Dom is still in the lead.
Well, Dom's racked it back up for him. Brian chalking up and getting ready to let it fly. Gets the 7 to drop on the break. Looks like maybe little presence from the magic rack caused that cue ball to not quite roll the speed it naturally would. And he doesn't quite have the look on the 1 ball that I think he wants.
He is definitely going to be kicking at this. Oh, great 2-rail attempt. Those are tough.
Yeah. One ball down in the corner by Dom.
Nice shot on the 2. Nice little 3-4 combo and great control of the cue ball to leave it there for the 3. Nice stop shot. That's unfortunate. He was looking like he really had the run out there before that shot.
Yeah. Well, the important part for him moving forward is that it seems like the flow is coming back.
Yep.
Just a little, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say dip, but a slump is what you guys call it, right?
Yeah.
Short-lived.
Yeah, you really just got to focus on getting your momentum back, you know.
Yeah.
Think about the positives, not the negatives. 1 shot, 1 ball at a time. Trying to not let the 2.5-foot toddler distract you too much. It's kind of an awkward back cut. It's kind of a shot that they worked on last week.
Yeah.
Where it's just so hard to get that angle and then to try and come back for the other ball on the other side of the table. He overhit that 8-ball just a little bit, but he can still see the 9-ball.
Going for the side pocket there, and he doesn't quite get it to fall.
That was not an easy 9-ball. 9-balls are never easy, though, in my mind. Even straight in.
Yeah. Brian gets it to fall down in the corner there, making it a tie game. And, you expect some little bit of swing one way or the other way with who's hitting shots that they want to hit, all that kind of stuff. But, I don't think we've had too many shows go 3-0 and then come all the way back to be a tie game from there. This has got to be in the 10 percentile or something of games that swing this way. Big break, but a dry break, so Brian will hand it back to Dom.
Off the 9-ball, the 9-ball and the 1 go towards opposite corner pockets there.
It's hard to know really what's going on in a player's head, but I just get the impression that a lot of Brian's shots have been a little bit on the soft side when he's not gotten the result he wanted, and it seems like Dom's shots on the last couple of games that he hasn't gotten his desired result have been a little bit on the heavy side.
Yeah.
Is that just me, or are you noticing that as well?
Personally for me, they both kind of hit hard. But I have such a soft stroke that it's hard for me to get around the table in the same manner.
Do you find some correlation there in your game? Moments when you find you just need to soften up?
No, I misstroke a lot when I'm trying to hit the ball harder, so I tend to just hit it softer to make the ball. So, that was almost a really good run out for Brian. I felt like that whole game was about who was going to get to the 5-ball.
Yeah. Dangerous here as with the 9-ball that far in the corner, anything could happen.
With your correlation earlier, I think that a lot of the shots that Dom has missed have been when he's trying to draw the ball and needs a bigger stroke. Yes, I can agree with that. Nice carom there.
Yeah, it looked good on that one.
Yeah.
There's something fall over, and I expect it's going to be like a 4-year-old.
Yeah. And Dom sinks the 9-ball. All right, that brings the score 4-3 Dom, and Dom will be back up to break. Looks like the boys might be getting a little bit of their momentum back here.
Yeah, and this is, I think we're gonna see a little bit more of this neck and neck lead changing back and forth here that we come to expect from these two guys that have played for so long together. You can see coming in the corner, Deborah with the cakes. Welcome to the set,
She is here,
Deborah.
ladies and gentlemen. It's on the top on the other side. Yeah, you just gotta ask him. He knows how to do everything. Turn the volume down, baby.
That's right. What's up?
Wait, isn't it? I thought it's not best of 7. It's 2-7. Best of 7. 2-7. Oh, wow.
Dom back up to break. Big break. 3 falls in the corner. Gets a little motion on the 9-ball. He seems a little stuck behind the 5 here. I'm not quite sure what the
looks
move
like
is.
he's gonna masse around it.
Yeah, sure enough.
Great shot, great connection. Great leave. Sucks Brian right up to the back of that 6 ball again. Another awkward shot. There's not a whole lot more that you could hope for.
He kicks down to try to get contact with the 1 ball, maybe send it back in the corner, and he just narrowly misses contact with the object ball, so that'll send it back to Dom for ball in hand.
Great shot on the 1 ball. Nice use of some bottom right English. Just kind of pop out back to the middle of the table. Nice soft stroke there. Just got a good look at the 4 ball.
Like public alarm or something. Spanish police cars driving by.
Unfortunately, he just kind of overcuts that 4 ball, trying to make sure that the cue ball gets back down table where he wanted for the 5. Those side pockets are tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't like them a lot. Unless the ball's like,
You mean in general or just on this table?
no, in general. I mean, unless that's like the only pocket that the ball can go into, then I don't really like them. I'm a picky pool player.
Well, I feel it. I mean, you definitely have enough games under your belt to understand like what feels like a freebie for you and what is a shot
Yeah.
that is going to be challenging. And you find that anyone is like, you can't do left corners because a corner, as far as you see.
Yeah.
Goes for the Z bank and
I don't know. It's awkward for me. So looking at this table, it's awkward to kind of shoot balls into the right corner if the cue ball's on the left hand side because I'm a right-handed person.
okay, I can see that. Yeah, definitely. There's sides of the table.
Great shot by Dom. Great jump over the 7 ball. He pockets it. Beautiful shot. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, that was a great shot.
that needed to be called to attention.
Absolutely. You say you're a lefty?
No, I'm a righty.
That's what I thought I heard you say lefty. I was so confused.
No, I said the left side of the table. If I'm on the right side of the table, or
That's why.
something like that.
It's a lot to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Well, that looks like a pretty decent safe. I don't know. It's kind of like an awkward to go off the rail with the 6 and the 7 ball where they are. Not sure what he's going to do here. Sitting duck there in your least favorite pocket, Cassandra.
Oh, if it's like that, I don't mind.
If it's a freebie,
It's in front of the pocket. There's actually quite a few
Oh,
side
look
pocket
at
shots that I do
that.
like. That was kind of lucky. I'm gonna call that out. Nice reverse bank. Nice contact with the 9 ball to hold the cue ball there for the 8.
wow.
A lot of moving parts right there. That worked out perfectly. Oh no! And then he rattles the 8 ball.
Too bad. Off of just a great, like, super smart and well executed series of moves, it's unfortunate result on that 8.
Oh no!
Brian shoots at it soft,
He
but
felt bad. I think he felt bad. Great bank by Dom. He's
Wow.
really starting to come back and feel his stroke and get his momentum. There you go. Nice
Confident
out, Dom.
finish.
Yes, absolutely. Nice out. That brings the score 5-3, Dom.
So you miss. I know.
No, you laugh at that. No, the game doesn't punish. Yes.
Yeah. Most profound way of this one, it's over. It's true.
Big break again. One ball flies into the side pocket. He's got a good look at the 2 ball on the same side. Nice attempt by Dom. That's exactly how I would have played it. So much more natural to get to the 3 rather than trying to go up table and come back behind that wall of balls. Nice cut attempt by Brian. Comes back and almost gets safe. Really nice cut, Dom.
Ooh, and just the contact with the 4 allows it to just sneak around the 8 ball.
Great shot on the 3 ball too.
Yeah, what a cut.
Yeah, brings it around 3 rails. It's not quite the side that he wanted to be on for the 4. Tries to work it out with the combo. Brian tried to cut the 4 ball inside and ended up making contact with the 6, unfortunately, and giving a Dom ball in hand.
Tough.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that I've never done that though, because I definitely have at some point. Nice shot on the 4 by Dom. Nice shot on the 5 ball by Dom. Not as favorable of a leave as he would have liked, but he can work it out. Oh, nice bank attempt.
Comes into contact with the fin there and just sends it off into the sea.
I know what you're doing, man. Not happy.
Nice cut there. Those cuts are hard when they're so long like that.
Yeah.
There's so much room for error. Nice bank. Almost got 2 in a row. Oh, maybe the Z bank.
Oh my, and he just leaves it in the corner there.
Yeah. Nice shot by Brian. I'm not sure if he was trying to make contact with the 9 ball. Unfortunately, he misses the 9 ball and hands it back to Dom.
And Dom's able to close it out there.
Yeah. That brings the score 6-3. Dom is on the hill. Normally he just tries to pawn off the ones that he doesn't like.
Well, this could be it. Brian's kind of up against the ropes here with Dom on the hill.
6
And,
ball in the corner.
Pretty strong break, except for maybe
The 3, the 5, and the 7. And the fact that he
uh,
can't see the 1 ball. It's fine. I'll call it out. I got a giggle out of it. Ooh, he tries to, that's called a reverse kick, where you are kicking at an angle and use opposite English to try and reverse the ball from the natural angle that it would be traveling. It's a sporty little shot when it works out. Dom, in a weird turn of events, ends up with a jump shot. Ooh, great attempt. He almost made it off of the 8 ball. Great connection. Good job getting over the 7 ball. Nice little safety there by Brian. 1 ball might have squeaked out just enough. Nope, Dom's grabbing his jump cue again. And damn that 7.
I'm telling you, this is the point of the game where you got to walk over with heavy feet over to that corner to just see with your own eyes.
Nice little combo by Brian. Making sure that the 7 ball fell down this time.
Yeah. Narrow little cut, a little movement
Yeah.
on the 9 ball, and I think he ends up with a 4 ball between himself and the 2, unfortunately. Goes for the kick and doesn't quite get there.
Yeah. Ooh.
Throws the cue ball on the floor in a rage.
Yeah, I think I had the pool table first, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start charging for that rail.
We have to check with our lawyers, but I think we'll be extracting a damages deposit for that one.
Nice shot and breakout. See, personally, I would have just rolled forward 6 inches and then taken the 3-9.
Well, on your episode, Cassandra, you can do that with your opportunity.
I think I did try.
Just a few shots left here between Dom and the Big W.
Commentator's curse, man.
Those shots are still there. That was not a curse. I didn't say something wasn't going to happen, and then it did. Just objectively stating facts.
Ooh, Brian
danger there with
connected
the
with
side
that fin
pocket.
there and almost scratched, but he hit the point. And
It was a
popped
close
back
one.
Out. Yeah. Oh, and Brian came around and scratched. That's
Ugh.
unfortunate.
It's not a good time.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he made that ball, he wouldn't have scratched, right? Because it would have been thicker.
Yeah.
So he overcut it. Nice use of the rails to get around the table. Get the correct angle on the 9 by Dom. And he's out. And
there
that
you
is the
have
match.
it. Dom takes the victory in the Shark Attack against Brian. A lot of momentum back and forth there. That was a really, really interesting game. And you just kind of saw Dom run away with it there at the end. But what I like is that these two guys that have played pool against each other for a long time, I'm sure they've both seen some wins and some losses, that neither one of them really let that momentum swing get them down. They were both having a good time, and happy to have Brian here for the Shark Attack. Well, as you can see, Eric is up to bat there, setting up for the Clean Slate Billiards Break Pot. So we've got our $10 from Brian, which that treasure chest in the back corner, he's going to go ahead and toss it back there. And Eric, can you remind me our total of what our break pot is at? Eric, do you remember what the break pot total was? I think we're up to $250 in the break pot, says Eric. So if Brian can run out this rack, combos and caroms are good to go as long as it's a legal shot and a ball goes in every time you swing at it, then you get to keep going. And if you run all your way out to the 9, then you'll be taking home that cash. So good luck to Brian. Thanks again to Clean Slate Billiards for sponsoring the break pot. If you're in the Puget Sound area, Seattle area, Tacoma area, and you have any pool table needs, refurbishment, new felt, you want to buy a table, you want to sell a table, let Clean Slate Billiards know. Unfortunately, a dry break for Brian. So that's all she wrote. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back over to Dom, and we will say our farewells.
All right.
Well played, Dom. Nice job, man.
Yeah, Brian, thanks for traveling all the way up here from San Diego. We appreciate it. Deborah Gruss with our Shark Bites, so thank you for the birthday for Sharky Waters and the anniversary. Thanks to everybody who watches the show and shares and joins us in the chat rooms. I didn't catch the name of whoever found the shark, but the people who are always keeping their eye out for the shark, and I'll mail you a sticker. Clean Slate Pool Tables Services, Tipsy Tomato, our proud sponsors in home room where we go after the shows. Prying Custom Cues, really throwing me off holding the cake here. But, yeah, we really appreciate everybody tuning in for all this time. And we're going to keep putting together the organization behind it and keep pushing the product and promoting the game. With you guys' help, hopefully it'll get better and better. Until next time, work on the drills, work on your games, take a load off, and don't take everything so seriously. Play a game that's not even related to your goals. Take a load off of that stuff, and get back to your practice. Perfect practice makes perfect performance. Enjoy peace.